So in response to this comment, most sunscreens have a better chance of giving you cancer than the sun does. So first off, this is 100% wrong. UV exposure is associated from anywhere from 80 to 90% of skin cancers, with the remaining 10 to 20% being related to genetics, food, exposures, other environmental conditions. Just 1 to 2 blistering sunburns in childhood can result in a greater than twofold risk of melanoma over a person's lifetime. And regular use of sunscreen absolutely helps protect against skin cancer. There have been several well-designed randomized controlled trials out of Australia demonstrating that regular everyday use of 15 SPF sunscreen daily reduced the incidence of high-risk skin cancers like squamous cell carcinoma by 40% and melanoma by 50%. But certainly there are some concerns about chemicals in sunscreens and about carcinogens in sunscreens, and so we'll address them. So first, benzene. So an independent lab called Valisure tested a whole bunch of sunscreens and dry shampoos, hand sanitizers, all sorts of over-the-counter products. And they found that there were high levels of benzene, meaning greater than 2 parts per million in several different sunscreens that they tested, all of which were aerosol. There were a few gels on the list, and they were all after sun care. So aloe vera that you would put on to soothe your skin after a sunburn. But those are not sunscreens. Every single one on that list of high benzene was a spray sunscreen. They had an additional table, table 3, intermediate trace amounts of benzene, meaning under 2 parts per million, but more than 0.1 parts per million. And on that list, more than 80% of those were also spray sunscreens, with 4 on the list being cream or lotion. If you're using a cream or liquid or lotion sunscreen, the chance that you have benzene levels greater than 2 parts per million in that formulation is almost 0. You're much more likely to be getting exposure from hand sanitizer, after sun care products, and definitely dry shampoo. So what about other carcinogens? There is some concern about one of the chemical sunscreens, octocrylene, because when it degrades, it can result in higher levels of a carcinogen called benzophenone. And you can avoid this entirely by picking a mineral sunscreen, zinc oxide, titanium dioxide. They're the same ingredients in diaper cream, and they are listed by the FDA as the 2 ingredients that are safe and effective as sunscreens.